Hello friends and welcome. In this video I will show you how to create or how to crochet a ribbing for the hat that you work on from the bottom up, right? So I'm using size 4 yarn. This yarn calls for 5.5 millimeter hook. For the ribbing, we always go down by 0.5 millimeter to even a full millimeter size lower, smaller. So we start with the chain, and the length of the chain will determine the width of the ribbing. So for a lady's hat, I usually start with chain 7. For the guys, you can go with chain 9, maybe even chain 10. And if you want the ribbing to be long enough so you can flip the ribbing into a half for the brim of the hat, you want double the count, right? So we need 2, 4, 6, 7. So this will be the width of the ribbing. So we start the next row going into that second chain, right? So we're skipping the first chain, we're going into that second chain, and this is why the width of the ribbing will be whatever the chain count was minus 1. So if you started with chain 7, the width of the ribbing will be 6 stitches. So you want to make sure that every row has 6 stitches. I usually don't count every row, I just check here and there. So we have 6 right here. So when we get to the end of the row, we want to make sure that we have straight edges. We already learned this trick. So we turn our work so the yarn is in front of us, and then we chain 1. Now we are working, I've tried many versions, but for me the best looking ribbing is when we work single crochet stitches into the back loop only of every stitch. Chain 1 is not counted as a stitch, so I like to turn my work and I go into that first stitch back loop only and do single crochet. So it's easier to reach those back loops if you twist your work like this, right? So we're doing single crochet back loop only. Again, we are at the end of the row. We turn our work, chain 1, again, flip the work, access that first stitch back loop only, and we are continuing with single crochet back loop only throughout the row. So this is very simple, as you can tell. You continue working on the ribbing as long as you need. The ribbing itself will be nice and stretchy. The length of the ribbing depends on the size of the hat, of course. So for adult small size, usually they recommend 19-inch ribbing. For adult medium size, that would be 20-21 inch. And for the adults large, recommended is 21 to 22 inches when semi-stretched, when the ribbing is semi-stretched. So please keep working on the ribbing and I'll meet you at the end. Hello friends, and we're back. So we have the full length of the ribbing done, and the way that I measure, so I stretch it gently, and then I measure the length, right? So I'm doing adult size medium, and the length should be between 20 and 21 inches. which is exactly that. And then, okay guys, so let's connect the beginning with the end. So what I like to do is I put the beginning of the ribbing in the back with the tail on the left side. We finish the ribbing on the opposite side, and then all we need to do is slip stitch the front to the back. And what I like to do is, because I like that seam to be nice and tight, and I also don't like going through both of these loops, because then that back bump of the ribbing is too thick. What I like to do is I just go into the back loop here and then connect it with the beginning, and I do slip stitch, and you'll see the results. We're going into the back loop, and then in here I'm going under that X. So you see here we have an X, so that's exactly where I like to go, right under that X, right? So again, back loop, and then we find that X on the opposite side, slip stitch, back loop. Where's that X over there? Right here, slip stitch. Slip stitch. And now this is going to be the back of the ribbing. So when done, we flip the ribbing, and do you see the seam? It's as perfect as it gets, right? So I hope this helps, and let me know what other videos you would like to see. Thanks.